Call the meeting to order.
Mr. Vieira?
Here.
Dr. Vogt?
Here.
Mrs. Wittes?
Here.
Dr. Selly?
Here.
Mr. Dangler?
Here. Will you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I hereby certify that this meeting has been published in the newspapers in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and posted as required by law.
Presentation. We have a presentation to Corporal Robert Korn. Chief Roebuck.
So this evening, we're here to present an award to Corporal Robert Korn for his actions on February 5th, 2019. Was an afternoon, I happen to remember it, I was there. It was the normal day when we got a terrible call that a lady who worked in town and her husband, I guess, showed up to her place of employment. They were having an argument. She told him on the phone, I think, prior to him showing up, not to come to her place of employment. He came anyway. She went outside to talk to him, and without getting into too many details, because it still hasn't been to court, he started to stab her repeatedly. Thankfully, Corporal Korn was close by, right around the corner, and was able to get there quickly and pull the offender off while he was still basically trying to murder his wife, and was able to pull him off the woman, disarm him and arrest him, and the other officers that were able to render first aid to her, saving her life. And just want to thank Officer Korn for his actions that day. And just like any other day, you never know what it's going to bring, and that's what these guys in the back of the room do every single day. They never know what they're going to have to do that day. So we thank all of them for everything that they do every day, as well as Corporal Korn. I'll read this to you real quick. I do have to say I'm very happy that it's one of the older guys getting this, all right? He's kind of keeping up the thing. Bobby's been here for 24 years, right? 1 year after me. So, we hear a lot about you young guys back there, and you guys do an awesome job, but it's great to see the old guys who are still able to do it when we have to do it, so appreciate that. So I'm just going to read this real quick, and then we'll, if you guys want to come up, we can hand him his Meritorious Service Award. Your heroic actions on the afternoon of February 5th, 2019, when you responded to a domestic incident involving a subject actively attempting to murder his wife. Without hesitation or regard for your own safety, you pulled the subject away from the victim, ensured he was disarmed, and placed him under arrest. Your swift response allowed other officers to administer first aid to the victim and undoubtedly helped save her life. The bravery you displayed during this life-threatening incident speaks volume to your integrity and ability as an officer. Your professionalism is a true asset to the Long Branch Police Department. I also want to comment that in 2 weeks, Corporal Korn is also getting the Valor Award from the PBA down in Atlantic City, along with Corporal Wittes and Officer Simol for their actions last year that, we gave them awards for too. So, Bob, your Meritorious Service Award.
I need a motion to approve the minutes from the October 23rd, 2019 meeting.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Vieira?
Yeah,
Dr.
yes.
Vogt?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Scully?
Yes.
Mr. Dangler?
Yes. Consideration of ordinance, public hearing, and final consideration. This is the second reading of ordinance 18-19 entitled A Bond Providing for Various 2019 Capital Acquisition and Improvements by and in the City of Long Branch in the County of Monmouth, the State of New Jersey, appropriating $3,735,400, therefore authorizing the insurance of $3,550,130 bonds or notes for the city to finance part of the cost, therefore. This ordinance was introduced October 10th, 2019. I need a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? If there's anyone in the audience who would like to speak regarding this ordinance only, please step to the podium, state your name and address clearly for the record. You will be given 5 minutes and may only speak once.
Hi, Ernest McNolly. Trying to remember. Oh, yeah, born in Long Branch, live in Asbury Park. So,
Did he give his name and address?
excuse me?
Did he give you a name and address?
Yes, he did.
I'm going to give everything, my height, my weight. My coffee is outside. I live at 400 Deal Lake Drive,
She was just
apartment
asking a
5.
question, sir.
Okay. I mean, do you do that with everybody or just me?
She didn't hear you.
Oh, okay. That's my fault?
Nobody accused you.
All right, 400 Deal Lake Drive, apartment 5D, Asbury
Thank you,
Park,
sir.
New Jersey, 07712. It's a building called the Santander. It's right on the Deal Lake. I'm 5'9", hazel eyes. All right? So, I called and heard, I spoke to someone in the clerk's department, and I tried to get an advance on what was going on prior to the regular public participation, and they told me that a little bit heads up on the bonding and raising, I don't know if it's called raising money, it's called, I guess, indebting the city, and Mr. Arnone, am I correct? Isn't bonding indebting the taxpayers to raise money for the purposes that so deemed by the mayor and council, I guess?
If you actually float a bond, yes.
Right, okay.
That's different than a capital ordinance, but.
Okay, so it's kind of correct. So, and the reason that I'm commenting on this one is because I always find that whether I'm in Asbury Park or Long Branch, the only two cities in the county, that often big bonds are created and you rarely see public, I mean, asking like, well, do we have to raise money that way, and why can't we do it this way? And so it's always like some either out-of-towner like me or somebody that gets interested in multi-municipalities that we're always questioning like the raising of money, and then we find out, well, we don't really agree with that, but then we find out that it's already too late. We're at the third reading and the money's spent. I know you don't like when I talk about Asbury, but they want to build like a $20 million firehouse for a firehouse that they never took care of, that they destroyed themselves, and now they want us to pay $20 million for something that they wouldn't even pick up a paintbrush in 25 years. I mean, Ocean Grove has an older firehouse. It's perfect. Ours in Asbury is younger. It's ready to collapse. Why the taxpayers always? So my point is, this bonding thing, what I find, I'm not going to say offensive, but unfair, and I feel biased against homeowners, not mega condo owners. I'm not talking about the snowbirds that come here for 3 months and live in $7 million condos and don't have kids in the school system. Don't have kids in the school system. A lot of them apply for these, I don't know, I call them like weird tax abatements, and I think it's really called like avoiding and evading taxes. They declare their home a religious place, I mean, I got the list, remember? So, in other words, when you're doing bonding, it's because the homeowners don't have enough money. The average person in Long Branch doesn't have enough money. So what you do is you abate all the people who have the most money, give them pilot programs where they don't pay into the school system, give them 30-year tax abatements, and then either do problems with the city and maintenance or just plain old wear and tear on the city, you go right back to those homeowners that are already beleaguered. They can't even afford to keep their lights on. And I'm including myself in that. It's expensive. But meeting after meeting, we have to come in on the tail end, and there's very few. I don't think there's probably not one homeowner here. Am I right? One. I mean, you got 30,000 people here. And an out-of-towner like me is saying, well, what's all this bonding about? And you know what? In 5 minutes, in speaking, you're never going to get into the thick of this. It's only going to be a cursory talk about, and then we sit down, and then it's always the same thing. Yes, 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 yes. We went through that for 28 years with some members who are on the new team. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, eminent domain, Brighton and Ocean. Yes, eminent domain, whatever, spot zoning. Yes, Lower Broadway. Yes, this. Yes, Pier Village. Yes, the carousel. Yeah, my time's up?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? I need a motion to close.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? This is the third reading of ordinance 1819 entitled the bond ordinance providing for various 2019 capital acquisitions and improvements by the city, by and in the city of Long Branch in the county of Monmouth, the state of New Jersey, appropriating $3,735,400, therefore authorizing the insurance of $3,550,130 bonds or notes of the city to finance as part of the cost. Therefore, I need a motion to adopt the third and final reading and advertise according to law.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Guerrero?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly?
Yes.
Mr. Dangler?
Yes. Ordinance for introduction, there are none. Public portion, I need a motion to go into the public portion of the meeting for all comments.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? If there's anyone in the audience that has a comment to make, please step to the podium. Please state your name and address clearly for the record. You will be given 5 minutes and may only speak once.
Request 1 minute notification. Vincent Lepore, 33 Ocean Terrace, Long Branch. From the public record to the public record. For years, I've been discussing on the public record at council meetings the role of a civilian director as opposed to a police chief. The fact being, Civilian Director Roebuck had no police powers, nor was he able to carry a firearm. This was based on the decision of Jordan v. Harvey and New Jersey State Attorney General guidelines. In January of 2016, after a council meeting was gavelled to an end, I was the victim of an assault by Civilian Director Roebuck inside this council room as he illegally wore a firearm. Subsequently, outside the council room, I was put under arrest by Civilian Director Roebuck under the color of law. Roebuck, as a civilian director with no probable cause, had no power of arrest. Almost 4 years later, a decision rendered on October 30th, 2019, in the matter of State of New Jersey versus Vincent Lepore, me, Monmouth County Superior Court completely exonerated me of all criminal charges against me by Civilian Director Roebuck. The second paragraph of the order reads as follows. It is ordered on this 30th day of October 2019, adjudged on trial de novo, that the defendant appellant conviction is dismissed. The Long Branch Municipal Court lacked jurisdiction over the matter due to a defectively issued summons without probable cause, which cannot be cured because of expiration of statute of limitations for the offense. Additionally, this court, on a de novo review of this trial testimony, finds the state has failed to meet its burden to prove the defendant's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, and adjudicates the defendant not guilty of the offense charged. Accordingly, defendant appellant's municipal appeal is granted, and the sentence imposed by the Long Branch Municipal Court shall be vacated. On June 12, 2019, Ordinance 819 was adopted by the current council and signed by Mayor Pallone. The ordinance amended Chapter 78 of the Code of the City of Long Branch. 78:1, Section A, read, quote, "The mayor is hereby designated as the appropriate authority," end quote, of the police department. Section B reads as follows. The police chief shall be head of the police department and shall be directly responsible to the appropriate authority, that being the mayor. Continuing on the police chief, item 1. For the police chief, administer and enforce the rules and regulations of the police department and directives for the disposition and discipline of department and its members and officers. I very much disputed Ordinance 819 at the time, stating the position of appropriate authority should not be given to Mayor Pallone because of Pallone's families with the police department over the years and his involvement in the culture of the police department. It is quite self-explanatory after referencing the decisions of State v. Lepore and Jordan v. Harvey, and the ordinance just mentioned, 8-19. Roebuck, as a public official, be relieved of his duties as police chief immediately. As a public official, he conducted official misconduct.
Mr. Lepore, you have 1 minute.
Police Roebuck represents an endangerment to those in this council room, to the police department, and to the public at large. He is not capable of effectively administering and enforcing the rules and regulations of the police department, nor is he capable of giving directives for the disposition and discipline of police department and its members and officers. I am also requesting the relieving of the firearm by Police Chief Roebuck to the authority, Mayor Pallone, after this council meeting. And I'm requesting the videographers in this audience to keep the videos going on the mayor and Roebuck to make certain that firearm is surrendered. We are now awaiting the official misconduct charges by the city against Police Chief Roebuck. And to the people out there in the city, keep those calls going into the State Attorney General. We need the state police to run this police department since Team Pallone has failed to take a handle on it.
Hello, everybody. Bill Germano, 600 Russell Avenue, Long Branch. Robert, I've been waiting for long months' time. I tell you, I want to go to court with you. I wanted to destroy you. I want to make it possible tomorrow morning in Freehold. We'll see judges, we'll see criminal buildings, and go see everybody because I can't take it no more. I want you in jail behind bars the rest of your life. Harass me from the day you put a uniform on. I'm not going to leave you alone. I'm going to leave this town if y'all will destroy you. That's it. That's the bottom line, mister. Enough is enough. Serious. No laughing, no, I'm not joking. The game is over. Serious, that's it, Robert. Everywhere I go, now I'm not drunk, now I'm a thief. Now I'm a thief, you're telling me. That's what you tell them? What do I steal from your wife? I want to know what I steal, I want to know. You mess around with me, I'm the cleanest man in there. I don't think nobody in the whole United States, nobody. I never break anything in the law, okay? When I come over here, I don't know what it is. Everybody against me, I don't know what is the problem. Why? Can I sleep with anybody's wife? I don't know. I want to finish with you, that's it. You can't go no more, Robert. Look at my feet. Look at my legs. I can't see no doctor. You're a sick man. I don't know what it is, man. You told the doctors not to give me no medicine or not. When I go there, say, stand up with the police department, mention your name. I say, he's a dog. He's not a cop. He's a mean person. I told him like this to all my doctors. Look at my legs. Don't play with your phone. Don't make yourself busy. Game is over, Robert. That's it. The game is over. I wanted to destroy you and I leave the town alone. That's it. I'm not going no place. If I'm not finished with you, bring Snyder too. Your father. He give you the fake stars. Bring him too. Don't laugh at me, man. It's not funny. The guy, you think he's a lawyer. He never going to case in his life. Let me tell you, Snyder is a lawyer. He give you those fake stars for no reason. No reason. You got to go to school for those stars. I told you already, I have one in the Army. I was a genius there. I want the service papers for me. I want you to do that. I'm going to make you make your holidays behind bars.
Good evening. It's our first time here. So I'm Reverend Marisol Malloy and my husband Paul Malloy from 646 Broadway. And I'm the pastor at the Community Mission Center of Long Branch, formerly the First Reformed Church of Long Branch. And we're here just to, we're thankful. We decided that we were going to do Code Blue this year. We've been here for a year, and we decided that our space would be the place to be a warming center. And it is open right now. We have volunteers there. I want to mention Bev Cruz, who is getting all the volunteers together. If we don't have volunteers, we don't have a warming center. So we're very thankful for the city, for the mayor's office. We're thankful for the support of the police department, who has been just really supporting us throughout this. So I'm thankful for that. And just letting you all know that, yes, we are here, and that we are about this community, and we're just helping out as best we can. But we want to give you thanks.
Thank you.
And Reverend, I just want to thank you and Paul for all you do and for just coming out and supporting us in the warming center and setting that up. And it's just really a wonderful thing that you're doing. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to ask Mayor Palone, Council, can you explain what this is?
Ma'am, you have to go back, you have to go there, you have to
But I
get,
wanted to,
yeah,
you have to see the picture.
yeah, but
You
you have
gotta
to go there,
identify
you have
yourself
to.
first.
I'm sorry. Oops, goofed again. Okay, well, we'll do it right this time. I'm Linda Swinby, and I reside at 157 7th Avenue. But now can I show you the picture? Because this is the question I need to deal
To
with.
the officer, and he'll bring it up.
I need to, no, never mind. Okay, I will have to wait on this. I'll put the pictures on a storyboard and then do it that way.
Or you can just email them to the clerk.
You have to see it. Never mind. That's okay.
chief over here. Everything's fine.
Good evening. Patty Veraki, 246 Jerome Avenue, Oakhurst. My question has to do with the Tackanassie Lake dredging, and of the 240,000, could you break that down just, roughly? What is that used for? I know 40,000 was for the dredging of the algae in the first third of the lake. The boat, that went through, and then the chemical that was put, or herbicide that was put in the water. So why is the price so high for the other part?
You're talking about in the capital budget here?
Yes, I'm sorry.
450,000. So they're two different things, Patty.
Okay.
The 40,000, of course, which you're aware of, the front of the lake or the eastern portion of the lake was that sort of unique situation with, it wasn't algae, but whatever it was, cleaning that up.
Okay.
The $450,000 is for part two of the dredging that was done, if you remember, back in 2013 on the western side of the lake. So that money is in place because we've been negotiating with the county to get the second portion done, and then eventually we would move forward to the first portion.
Okay.
And that, if you remember, from 2013 was a multi-month project that we worked in conjunction with the county for removing the sediment there because
Right.
Yeah, so that's
So that the 240 is for the after Sandy dredging, if I guess.
Well, it wasn't this, I mean, I suppose that could be part of it. I don't know why exactly that occurred, but yes, there are two different projects.
Okay.
And so I think the expectation is that the middle portion, we were going to address that as well in the, I don't know if the price would be the same or a little less with that, with the issue that's in the second part, that's in the middle portion of the lake.
Okay.
But the dredging is something, is a much bigger project that was anticipated
A while back.
a while ago.
Okay. And then I guess, knowing that answer, I know that little boat that was there, that was, grating up the algae or the parrotweed that was growing, suffocating the lake over the summer, it would really be necessary to control that type of vegetation to remove it from the other two sections of Tackanassie.
Right.
Because going from west to east, obviously if we left two other portions of Tackanassie with that vegetation, it's just going to keep dumping into the last third.
So Patty, maybe George could correct me, but I think the reason we didn't proceed with the second portion of what was done in the summer is we just need to wait for the new budget. Am I correct with that?
Right, and that was also, for lack of a better word, a spontaneous project. We saw the problem, we saw how bad it was.
Okay.
So we found money and identified it to do something right away. That wasn't something we planned on previously.
And that was sort of an unusual occurrence that was happening statewide and
Correct.
along the whole Northeast as well.
But I guess my concern is for that price, I mean, wouldn't it be possible to purchase one of those boats that do the dredging or the vegetation removal, or?
I'm sorry, Patty, to purchase what?
Would it make sense to purchase a amphibious or those boats that do the dredging?
I mean, we're hoping that it doesn't occur again. And apparently by cleaning it up, by putting the chemicals, and then we want to put that fountain back in place, which if you remember was there a few years ago, that was removed.
Yes, but
The intent is that hopefully that will circulate the water there to
well, excuse me
prevent
for
that
butting in, but the vegetation is not, it comes back because of the height, the depth of the water. So the aeration does nothing to prevent the vegetation from coming back.
I was told otherwise, but to be honest with you, I can't
Okay.
You know, I'm not an expert.
Well, I guess what I'm-
Stan, I think, would have more information on it. Or Lou, Lou, do you know about it? Can you speak to it, or?
Well, the purpose of the first dredging
I'll sit down.
to deepen the lake on the western portion.
Yeah, I think Patty's talking about what we did this summer, and that, you know, growth.
That was a whole totally different situation.
Right, right.
The dredging that they're talking about for the money you were just asking about is for the going east from where we stopped for the first portion of the dredging.
Right.
Hi, Ernest Mignoli, 400 Deal Lake Drive, Asbury Park, New Jersey, apartment 5D, 07712, 201-679-3350, asburyparkcitizen@gmail.com.
Mr. Mignoli, could you bring the mic a little closer to you?
I'm trying, yeah. And that would apply to everyone here, right? Like, I would appreciate, like, when someone's referring to the chief or someone, can't they come up and do this? All we hear is a little whispering from the back. So I don't mind being asked to do something, but I think it should apply to everyone. Is Mr. Zuba passing his test finally, or is that why he's not here? Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to pick up with Jordan versus Harvey. Everyone know what that is? Anyone know what it is?
I do.
Who's that?
That's me, the attorney.
What is it?
Jordan versus Harvey?
Yeah.
It's
It's an Asbury Park case of a public safety director that wore a weapon and a badge and set the precedent for not just the state, maybe the country. Jordan versus Harvey.
It didn't set any precedent.
It didn't? There was another one?
It didn't set any precedent for the country because it was an interpretation of NJSA 40:14-118, which is the statute concerning the authority of a police chief. So it didn't set any authority because they don't have that statute in other states. So it only dealt with New Jersey.
Okay.
But it defined
A little too much
civilian.
information.
Well, you asked what it was.
All right,
You asked
can
me
you
whether
do
I
it
knew
on-
what it was. so
Well, can you do it on your time? Because you're a little bit verbose.
I'm sorry. You asked the question. I thought.
Okay, I know, but I didn't ask for a treatise on it, you know.
Okay.
Okay. So Jordan versus Harvey, I'm sorry, you find that disrespectful?
I find it.
You know what I find disrespectful? That people here are in fear to come up of your police chief. You don't find that disrespectful, Ms. Wittes? That you don't find disrespectful. But, you know, someone speaks up and, oh, that's Mr. Mignoli. He's so disrespectful. Really? What is your chief when he arrests people as a citizen?
He was trying to answer your
I know. Here we go now. Okay. Let me just try and get through this. Can I get a fresh start? No. Okay. Jordan versus Harvey. So I was in court Monday when the Lepore Roebuck case came up before Judge O'Brien. That was the day he retired. The case, the last one he was hearing is Roebuck versus Lepore, and I was there as a press person, by the way. I have never heard a judge lambaste, almost criminalize a police chief for everything they did with Judge Bassin, Schneider, Judge Seary, LaRocca from Red Bank, like they railroaded this citizen, and the witness statements that, in fact, it wasn't anything to do with Lepore. It was actually Avery Grant who set the place off, right? And why'd they arrest Lepore? Because, hey, he's a lot like a lot of people here who report on Roebuck, and Roebuck's comeback is always retaliate, right? And then Monahan says, sir, Officer Monahan, right? Sir, I cannot arrest him. I don't see him disorderly or anything. So Roebuck does it. The judge says, how dare you sign a summons, which only a lawful officer can sign, sworn officer, am I right? And he said, you're a citizen. This whole case, and then you come in to over 2 years after on a case where you want the prosecutor to uphold it, and they were fighting to uphold it when the judge said, It's over 2 years old. It's past the statute of limitations, right? Why did Judge O'Brien have to lambaste Long Branch, the police chief, Long Branch, the city council, and everybody? What? How much time do I have left, clerk?
50 seconds.
How many?
50 seconds.
50? Oh, my God. Let me just try and read everything. Long Branch Police, Pascucci, Joyce Jr., Akil, Roebuck, 6 months in grade as captain, not qualified to be appointed a police chief. Police misconduct should follow with what he did to Mr. Lepore. And I totally agree. The judge agreed, but I don't see anything happening. 1 year investigation of the Long Branch Police, it's ongoing. And Chief Roebuck, from what I hear, is at the center of it. Judge O'Brien, Officer Monahan involved, Judge Bassin, Judge Siri, Judge LaRocca, Red Bank, Edwin Henley, a prosecutor, former Long Branch cop, Ronan Newman, former Long Branch cop, Deal police chief. Darn. I would do anything to have another 10 minutes. Am I allowed to give myself a hand?
Anyone else? Need a motion to close?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. We can take the list of resolutions as a consent agenda with the exception of R 208-19, which will be removed from the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly?
Yes.
Mr. Dangler?
Yes. The applications, we have none this evening. Miscellaneous business for the good of the order. Councilman Vieira.
Yes, good evening. First, I'd like to thank and congratulate Corporal Corn. Outstanding job. We need people like him. He's a role model. Second, I'd like to thank the Reverend Marisol. Thank you for the warming center. And your husband, it's welcome, and I hear good things about it. Thanks a lot for what you're doing. And third, I like to thank the barbershop Heads Up on Morris Avenue for having us there on Saturday and to interact with the public. And I felt very positive about it. Had a lot of nice conversations, and I'd like to thank them, the Heads Up Barbershop on Morris Avenue. And good night, thanks for coming in.
Councilwoman Vogt.
So I also want to thank Reverend Marisol and your husband. New to Long Branch, as you said, a year. You opened your hearts, you opened your home, and we are tremendously appreciative of everything that you do. I also want to just bring to your attention that we are putting Long Branch on the map statewide. This is the magazine of the New Jersey State League of Municipalities. And what we have in here this month on page 66 is accessible paths, and it is highlighting what Long Branch did in terms of, it says, beautiful views, fun in the sun, and the ability to swim in the Atlantic Ocean once was only available to some on the shore of Long Branch, and now it's a reality and a dream come true for local residents and visitors alike. Gorgeous picture of the accessible beach, and so we have a lot to be proud of with what was done here in terms of just extending the beach and all the joys of the shore to everybody in Long Branch. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, putting Long Branch on the map. So thank you for coming, and that's it.
Councilwoman Wittes.
Yes, I too would like to thank Reverend Marisol and your husband for both opening up the warming center. And I wanted to share something with you. On Saturday morning, I called the mayor. I actually sent a text message because there was someone that was homeless found sleeping at the train station.
And the mayor went right over to see if he could find that person to get her into, the warming center. So I just want to thank you, Mayor Pling, for also going above and beyond and thinking about all the citizens of Long Branch.
Thank you.
I admire you for what you did, and I know you were there the other night also visiting the center, and I just think it's important for the residents to know that our mayor goes above and beyond to help everyone. And want to congratulate Corporal Corn as well for doing such a great job and putting your life, for the sake of someone else. And that's all I have to say. Thank you for coming tonight.
Councilwoman Telly.
Good evening, everybody. I don't have too much to say tonight, believe it or not, but I would like to congratulate Corporal Coyne and to everyone for coming. But I would like you to know it's pretty cold out if you haven't noticed. So I would ask that all of you try to stay warm, and if you find somebody that needs help, go to the warming center. It's something new that we've done. Well, we had it last year too, but it is something that we care to prove that we care about our residents. Thank you.
Mayor Pallone.
I just wanted to thank Councilwoman Wittes, but again, Reverend Marisol and Paul, I want to thank you. They literally reached out to the city and to us and said, how can we help? And, how could you ask for anything more than that? Somebody just gives you a call and says, how can we help? So thank you. I also want to congratulate Corporal Corn on receiving the Meritorious Service Award tonight, which is a very valiant honor to receive. Chief Roebuck obviously spoke about it, but without hesitation, Corporal Corn put the safety of another person before his own, saving that victim that was in distress. His quick actions allowed for an arrest to be made and for the situation to be quickly de-escalated, and his heroic instincts literally saved the woman's life, and we're very grateful for that. So thank you again, Corporal Corn. I wanted to say that the Board of Education and some students will be taking a field trip for a mock student government night tomorrow night on the 14th. They'll conduct an actual meeting and learn about government. And if anybody wants to attend, please do. That's tomorrow at 5:30. We'll be serving some pizza, and then the actual mock meeting will take place between 6 and 7 o'clock. So it should be a lot of fun and very interesting time for the students. Recreation is having a holiday toy drive, collecting new toys, books, and stuffed animals. The drop-off is the Long Branch Rec Department at 231 Wilbur Ray Avenue. Thank you to everyone who's donated so far. And we have two citywide holiday celebration and tree lightings. The first will be on December 1st from 4 to 6 p.m. at Pier Village. And then the following Saturday, I believe, on December 7th, from 5 to 7 p.m. between City Hall and the library. So join us for a merry night with cookies and hot chocolate. We're also having a holiday decorating contest this year for businesses and residential homes. Please check out our social media to find out how to enter, and prizes include Lowe's gift cards and beach badges. And just a final reminder, because of the holidays, the next council meeting, instead of being on Wednesday the 27th, will be on Tuesday, November 26th. So that's less than 2 weeks. It's the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So thank you again, for, as always, for coming and for your comments, and have a great week.
Thank you. Again, just following up with the rest of my colleagues here, the warming center is a blessing to the residents of Long Branch. As a matter of fact, on my Monday morning men's prayer line, that was one of the things that the prayers that we sent up, that something would be done for those who are in need. So you're certainly a blessing, and I hope, and an example, and hopefully maybe there'll be a few more that may open up as needed. So thank you. The event at Heads Up was very good, very well attended. or meet the mayor, the same as, mayor and coffee, but it was very engaging. It was very well attended, and a lot of younger residents of Long Branch were there to sit, meet, and greet the mayor and council, so that was very good. Even though it was right in the middle of LSU Alabama football game, but it was good, very well attended. And what is your address of your church? 650? Thank you. Just stay warm, stay safe, and all have a good evening and a good time until we see you again. Thank you. We have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you.
We changed that to the day before Thanksgiving, because it was the day before, remember? Yeah.